All right, let's see this big, beautiful spreadsheet.
Oh, I didn't make a beautiful one. I got my. Fuck.
Jake, you want to go first?
Here, hold on.
You're first.
I know, but do you want to go first?
You want to trade the first overall pick with me?
Yeah.
You gonna swap the snakes or what?
Well,
would you go? Would you go?
Then I would get second and fifth instead of first and sixth. So we would just swap orders.
I'm fine with if you want to swap places.
I mean, I know what you're picking, so.
Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
And tonight we are doing Distillery Draft. I don't know if
Cue the music,
American
Dan.
Distillery Draft.
When it started beforehand. I sent in the recording. That's how we started the episode off. If Jake's good at his job, then there'll be like a screen with a football flying through it with my beautiful musical
I wanted
prowess.
a live action.
No, you're not good enough for that.
No, he needed at least 3 takes on
Oh, I
it.
took about 7 takes. Because the problem is when you're trying to play kazoo right by the microphone, every time you try and take a deep breath in, you hear. So
That's what we want to hear.
No.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my excellent kazoo skills.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, right on pitch. Starting off great. So,
Distillery Draft for the NFL draft happening this weekend.
I'm the
Figured
only one in
it'd be fun.
NFL gear, and Jake's wearing White Sox gear because Gold Eagle Jake
Hell
is.
yeah.
And Jake just played his first game of golf ever, and yes, that's how he described how he did his first thing of golf today, is he played his first game of golf.
Yeah, that's
He
still
played
an
golf
accurate
today.
statement.
He played golf. You played a game
I did
of golf.
play the game of golf.
You played the game of golf today, so you're doing great, killing it.
Yeah.
Beat Rory in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Rory McIlroy is the golfer that just won the Masters, Jake. Just so you
I know.
Okay.
I know who he
Make
is.
sure we were clear.
I know who Tiger Woods is, too.
Was. no longer the same Tiger. So, yeah, we're just going to do a draft. There's going to be a 10-round draft. It's just got to be American whiskey distilleries. No other rules or anything. They just got to be American whiskey distilleries. Before the episode, we did a random selection to see who got first pick, second pick, third pick, and then it'll snake back up. The draft order is Gold Eagle Jake. Then
Is it?
Jake. Yeah. Well, hold on.
No, we
It
traded.
was Gold
We
Eagle
might-
Jake.
we did
and
a
then
trade.
Jake, and then me. But before the first round even started, Jake traded the first and the sixth. Gold Eagle Jake traded the first and the sixth for Jake's second and fifth, which I still think got screwed out of that. But
Well, here's the thing. We all know who Jake wants. I was very torn between 2 distilleries.
why
So
you should
this'll
have just
make-
taken it? You should have taken it just to piss him off. Like
This
that's
would've-
all-
this-
I would have taken Heaven Hill round 1 just to piss Jake off.
It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. Like, he needs to have Heaven Hill. And
I should pick Buffalo Trace so Dan can't get it.
I mean,
They're not.
if you want to, I'll take Heaven Hill. See, like, I'd be perfectly happy with either Heaven Hill or Buffalo Trace.
I'd
as
be
the
happy
first
with any of
pick.
my top 4, and I'm going to
We
get.
saw your sheet. We know Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace are in there.
They are.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones I'd be really happy with. But yeah, that's all it really is. We'll get to the end. We'll see who has. We'll go through our best 10, or our top 10 distilleries that each of us would have in this draft. You guys can decide who the smarter person is. I'm going to feel bad because I put a list of like 42 distilleries I could think of through the top of my head and looking through Gold Eagle's website. And I know I've missed people on here.
I know I did too. I mean, this is a really tough challenge to just go off of every distillery in the country. We could do 100 rounds of this and still be leaving out some good distilleries.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I think it's, for me at least, I know it's going to be a combination of like places, cool distilleries to visit, and also whiskey that I really like. So got to find that balance.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you don't need to have certain types of any type of distillery. You don't have to worry about craft if you don't want to. You don't have to have any craft if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't have to have ones from certain states if you don't want to. There's
The only thing that we excluded was anybody who doesn't distill. So anybody that's exclusively a blender or independent bottler does not count.
yes. That's about all it is. So it was difficult, more difficult than when I sat down to start doing this because I just like started writing distilleries down on my spreadsheet, and then I started like putting a ranking beside of them, and then like I put them in order, and I'm like started to change stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have like a rough range of everything, and I'll look down and see which one I want to pick out of that. So,
Yep. That's about what I did too.
That's about it. Like I had 42 that I put together, and I know there's some of here that even though they're ranked higher, like I probably wouldn't pick them unless they fall. Because they're distilleries I don't like, but I'm sure a lot of other people like them. And
yeah, all right. You want to jump into it then?
well, we don't need to. I mean, you've traded for the first pick, and we know what it is.
I do have the first pick, and I am not going to disappoint. I'm going to pick Heaven Hill.
Attaboy. See, I wanted Buffalo Trace. I knew he was going to pick Evan Hill, so I'm going with Buffalo Trace for the second pick, and now I got the fifth pick instead of the sixth pick.
Yeah, that's actually not a too terrible trade when there's this much power at the top.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, both of those, you can't really go wrong.
Yep. Dan?
Yeah. I'm thinking here. Those were definitely my top two. I'm just making sure I want to do it this way. Yeah. So, obviously, Jake's going Heaven Hill because he's an idiot.
Yeah, we established that.
Gold Eagle Jake. Great historic distillery.
Riding that hype train, but also very historic and lots of very good brands.
Those should easily be the top two picks.
Yeah, I think there's a big gap to the third.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Dan's got a tough decision because he's got the next two.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
And it's like if I go straight by my power rankings, which I was pretty happy with my top five, which I'd be taking 4 and 5 instead of 3 and 4. But I think that's going to make Gold Eagle Jake happier.
Oh, I don't care. Pick for whatever you want.
I know. I am going to go.
Dan's number one goal is to screw other people over. It's not to assemble the best team.
Yeah, I'm going to go Beam.
Beam. It's probably what I would have done, but yeah, this is a tough choice here.
And then I don't know. I don't think this is a bad choice or a wrong choice. I'm going to get flack for it right off the bat, which I'm fine with. I don't shy away from it. I will go MGP.
That's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
It's a sensible pick. I'm going to get shit.
I had them pretty high.
I'm going to get a lot of shit from people.
No, you should not.
Oh, but there's the MGP haters. That
second, third largest producer in the country.
I think for the size and for how many brands they produce, you can't overlook MGP.
And how much good whiskey there actually is if you actually don't care about who made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my snake draft. Jim Beam, MGP.
Good.
All right.
Pretty simple.
Now I'm up.
Yeah.
All right, this is a tough one.
I know if you don't go with one of these, the one I'm thinking of, Jake's picking them. For sure.
I have no idea who Jake would pick here, but I think I got to go with my heart and my gut and pick Maker's Mark.
All right, that's not who I thought you were going to pick. I had two other ones I thought you'd pick, but I know where Jake is going to go with one of these.
Big Maker's Mark fan. Love the whiskey. Love the campus. I
had
a feeling you were going to pick them early.
Yeah. Had to get the king of the weeded bourbon on my team.
Well, you got two really good weeded bourbons.
I do. Mm-hmm. Van Winkle and Makers, and Wellers.
And Wellers. Yeah.
All right, I've got two now, right?
Yeah.
So Jack Daniels.
Yep. That's who I was thinking about taking instead of Beam for fun. I was thinking about going MGP and Jack, but I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been happy with Jack or Jim Beam. Both of them are, I think, comparable in terms of what their quality is. And then this is where I might make an interesting pick.
Here we go.
You reaching already? This would be a typical Bears move.
I'll go with Four Roses.
Okay. All right. Four Roses.
Good. My turn?
Yeah.
Ooh. This is another tough one. I think I got to go with another Legacy Distillery Wild Turkey.
Damn it!
Let's go!
That's who I wanted next.
Oh,
If someone
so much,
deserves it, though, it's you.
Yeah.
So much history there. Such good whiskey. Gotta have them in my lineup.
Yeah, that's who I was hoping to go with. Oh, man. My 8th and my 9th ones, I don't really like that much. I'm really mad you did that.
Time to stretch a little bit.
I'm not
deep.
stretching. One of the biggest distilleries is still out there, but they're still marked way too far down for me to want to pick them at this point. And I'm not picking them anyways. So, this is tougher than my fantasy football draft.
It would be easier if they had a ranking list for us and then the choices disappeared in, like a fantasy football draft. But it is pretty difficult that we don't have like a list of distilleries to work off of unless we did our own research and list making, which we know none of us really prepare. We just get on here and talk bourbon.
I made a checklist in the iPhone notes so I can delete them off the list.
I got my Google sheet up right now that we're working on.
I mean, we all made little lists, but it's not like we have a 200 distillery.
Oh yeah, no.
Power ranking.
All right. I'm not worried about losing them because they'll make it back to me. I am going to go down a little bit farther on my board. We're going to go Barton.
Ooh. Okay, they're on my list, but not this high. Why Barton?
I didn't have them high either.
Why not?
I mean, there's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of good brands.
I like Barton. And then, even though I'll go back with Woodford.
Ooh.
You don't get 2.
Yeah, I do. I'm at the end of the draft.
Yeah, you guys both get 2 every time.
If you don't know how Snake works, you go down, you get to the bottom, and then you go back up.
I confused the order.
I don't know, Dan. I think
Who did you pick?
Woodford was a lame pick.
Technically, hold on. Technically, we've done this already wrong. And I'm sure some people have been yelling at us. Because Jake and Jake only swapped the first 2 picks.
No, we swapped positions.
Yeah, we just swapped entire positions.
Oh, that was dumb.
Which is fine. I don't really care. Whatever.
All right. I didn't know the trade was for the entire round. I thought it was just for the entire draft.
I mean, I just kind of assumed, just to make it easier, that we would just swap positions.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone was on board with that except you.
You guys didn't say you traded every pick in the draft. You just said
we did. We specified.
No, you didn't.
We just
what did you just pick?
I picked Woodford.
Pick Woodford.
Okay. I actually had them pretty high.
I mean, I guess if you like Woodford Reserve.
Good. I mean, I like everything except Woodford Reserve.
Woodford's not bad for the proof point. Overpriced at that proof for what it is, but
it's fine. It's good. It's meh.
All right, let's see.
If I just get
like 3 products,
if I just get the batch proof, I'm happy.
It is a beautiful distillery to visit.
Yeah, there's a lot of good.
I mean, everything goes into the pick. It's not just a whiskey.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Well, wait. Technically, it's Gold Eagle Jake's pick then, because if you and me are at the top and the bottom, it'd be Gold Eagle's pick after mine because you've already picked 3 times.
What? Jake just went. twice, then
No,
you.
Jake
Now
did
it's
go
my
twice
turn.
in a row.
No, I only do once.
Yes, he does once in a row, and he does after me, and then after you, your double pick. So it's Jake's pick. Gold Eagle Jake's pick.
Did
What?
Wait,
No. That's not
Here,
what just
let's go
happened.
through it. Let me put numbers
Dan, you're
beside
supposed
it.
to be keeping track of this.
I am.
Jake
First
just
pick in the
picked
draft.
Wild Turkey.
No,
You
and
just
then-
picked
No.
Barton
No.
and Woodford.
No.
Now
Barton
it's
and
my
Woodford.
turn.
No, so it is my turn.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm always in between you guys with one pick.
Jake, you want me to go through it? You had the first pick in the draft. You want
No,
Kevin
we're
Hill.
good. We're
That's
good.
the second pick in the draft with the Buffalo trade. No, I want to just shove Jake's face in this right now. Then it was the third pick in the draft. I went MGP. Fourth pick in the draft, which would be me going back up. I went Jim Beam. And then Jake went with Maker's
Turkey.
Mark as the fifth pick in the draft. And then you went Jack and Four Roses.
Yeah.
That'd be 6, 7. And then Jake went 8th pick in the draft with Wild Turkey. Then I did Barton and Woodford, so that's 9 and 10, which means the 11th pick in the draft would be Gold Eagle Jake. Now
Oh,
you.
okay.
Stop cheating in this draft.
All right,
Jesus
go ahead, Jake.
Christ.
And with the 11th pick in the draft, Gold Eagle Jake selects Willett.
Well, I figured I knew you were going to pick Willett. I had them down.
I
don't like Willett that much, but I knew you were going to pick him.
I love going to Willett. I love their bar. I love their distillery layout. They have awesome appetizers and cocktails, and I'm not sold on like the purple top hype, but I do think all of their core products are great for the price and what they are.
The estate rye's not that good.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, I'm talking like Johnny Drum, Old Bardstown, Rowan's Creek, Noah's Mill. Like those were some of the first bourbons that really got me into drinking bourbon. So Willett will always hold a special place in me.
Yeah, their bourbons are pretty good.
Yeah. And once they get a little older, I think some of those purple tops are going to be really, really good if they can bring the price down a little bit.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't like paying $200 for
Oh,
mediocre whiskey.
where do you find it for $200?
Fair.
It's like $400 retail now.
All right, Jake, you have 2 picks in a row now, and then it's Gold Eagle Jake after you if you haven't figured this out yet.
Okay.
It's difficult, I understand. You might need some more schooling to figure it out. Maybe you should get another.
All right. Dan took a powerhouse, so I think I'm going to take a powerhouse in Bardstown.
Yeah, I
Bourbon
got that one
Company.
marked.
Ooh, yep, knew that was coming.
Yeah, I put a couple different like large scale and like contract distillers on here that also make their own stuff, but and I might go with I'm gonna keep these 2 picks new school and go with New Riff.
Ooh.
All right.
Feel like that was maybe a little bit of a stretch, but
I would say I had them down quite a ways as well.
I like everything that I've had from them, so
I'm just giving
I
you
think
shit.
it's a solid pick.
I'm not. I think it's a reach. I think they would have been there 2 rounds from now.
All right, so I am up. This is a tough one. This is where we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
This is the part of your draft that's either going to make it or break it.
All right, I'm going to make some bold moves here because it is make it or break it time. I'm going with Hard Truth.
Damn it.
And I'm going with Hard Truth because
I wanted
they
it.
are no. They are very young, and everything I've had from them I've loved. And if you've never been to Hard Truth, it is like the Disneyland for bourbon. They have ATV
So
rides, jungle cruises, a huge amphitheater where they have live music on the weekends. It's a really, they do like a moonshining class. It's a really, really cool distillery to go visit. And I think their whiskey is pretty awesome.
Yep. Good pick.
Thank you.
They were my last distillery I'd written down.
Yeah, you don't really like rye.
That's not
and
surprising,
They have really,
Dan.
really good rye.
All right. The next one I'm going to go with so 15th pick, is more just because of recency bias. Green River.
I knew it.
All right. Solid.
I forgot how, like, when we were drinking Full Proof the other night with Karen, like, I was just sitting there with the Full Proof, and I forgot how good that was. Are they going to be back?
I think just for for how young they are and how good their whiskeys are, it's going to be interesting to see what they come out with and progress to in the next 5-10 years. Plus the whole contract distilling side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got MGP and Green River.
Mm-hmm. I think that one's going to last another little bit, so we're going to hold off on there. I am going to go probably still a little bit of a reach. Michter's.
Ooh,
It's a good pick.
I'm more worried about. I knew they wouldn't make it back down to me, so I was more concerned about picking them up. So,
all right. So I'm going to follow up that Michter's pick with their next door neighbor, Old Forester.
mm-hmm.
Kind of surprised Old Forester lasted this long.
I got one of the Brown Foreman portfolio, so I was happy.
After Jake picks, I think we're halfway. So we'll probably take a little break and look and see what we've done so far.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to go historical, though small, and say James Pepper.
Ooh, I knew one of you guys were going to pick that, so I left him off my list.
I had him down a little bit farther. I was going to try and get to him a little bit later.
It was one of my favorite places that we visited when we went down there.
I knew you guys were going to pick him before I was going to want to pick him, so I didn't even bother.
Yeah. I didn't want to pick him that high. I would have probably been about 3 rounds away from grabbing him.
And then
hold on. I think that's 5 rounds. I believe that's 5 rounds. Does everyone have?
That was my 6th pick.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, you're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, that's 6. Let's do the whole thing.
I mean, might as well.
Okay.
Our listeners
this isn't
don't
that
need to hear
difficult
us
for people
recap.
to follow.
Yeah, they can listen. They can. Hopefully, we'll put together a sheet so they can look at the whole thing while they're listening to the episode.
Yeah, we'll post the full teams on Instagram with the episode. All right, so I gotta scoop up Greg Metz at Old Elk.
Ooh.
If I can't have MGP, I'm taking the guy that invented the 95.5 rye.
All right.
All right.
Here's where it might get a little more interesting. You know, I think just to piss Jake off, I'm going to pick Middle West. But also because I need a contract distiller for my lineup.
I honestly probably would have had them higher on my list until after I went to the master class.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a unpopular take here and say that I didn't like anything at that masterclass.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they were all very flavorful, but they were all flavors I thoroughly disliked. So
see, that is
it's just a me problem.
No,
yeah.
I didn't. I thought, to be honest, I liked half of the stuff we tried. The other half of the stuff I did not like.
So I liked all of it. I'm impressed by just about everything Middle West. And I think you're the first person that said they didn't really like anything in that tasting.
Yeah, I did not like the weeded.
I thought the weeded cast strength was decent. And I thought the
And Jake, you're Mr. Middle West.
So
You're always talking
the,
them up.
the finished whiskeys are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time, or that
Just trying
masterclass
to-
was the first time I ever had any of their normal products, and yeah, I just did not like them.
one of the last two I absolutely could not stand. By the way, one of the last two pours, I couldn't remember which one it was. But
I think we got to get you
the
back
rye
in
or
for
the,
another tasting, Jake.
no, I thought the rye was better. I forget what the one was, but it was just whatever they finished it in was not a good blend for me. I did not like that.
Calvados.
I don't think it was. I can't remember what they
There
were all.
was a Calvados finished whiskey, which was a blend of their rye and wheat whiskey,
Yeah, it
I
was a
think,
half
and
and
then there
half
was
kind of thing.
the pumpernickel rye finished in port.
Yeah,
Well,
the ported rye was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that one.
I
There's
I liked everything. I think for their price point, they're phenomenal. They do a lot of contract distilling, and you guys have MGP, Green River, and Bardstown in your lineup. So I needed someone who can produce for other brands as well.
Yeah, no,
So that influenced.
I understand why people like them. I just didn't like those particular flavors.
There's another
So-
distillery out there that still produces a lot of whiskey for other people that hasn't been picked yet. They're not. I don't think they're.
Why don't you pick them?
I'm not. I don't like them. All right. I am going to choose then. For sure. I'm going to go with Bowman.
Ooh, I had them on my list.
I thought you were going to try and go for them.
That's about right where I had them. I was debating on them last time. And I'm going to... I'm mainly going to... no, because I haven't liked their stuff recently. Is it too big of a reach? You know what? No, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna dip down my list a little bit, but I'm just going to do this mainly to piss off other people.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Gold Eagle Jake.
Don't do it.
2XO.
Oh, that's fine. Well, they don't.
Okay.
They're not a
distill.
distillery.
Oh, that's right.
They're a
I thought
blender.
he was
Jesus
distilling
Christ.
No,
No,
No?
not
his
at
whole
all.
thing is blends. He's a blender.
I thought
Yeah.
they were distilling some there. Okay, Redwood
no,
Empire.
you dope.
We'll go Redwood Empire.
Okay. Not bad.
I'll leave the one that Jake.
Could have been better picked, but
I think I know what Jake's going to go with. Gold Eagle Jake's going to go with.
I think you might know, and I think I'm.
there's one that Jake cannot let go.
Yeah. All right. I'll just do it. Chattanooga.
Yep.
Because now you guys are on to me, and now you're gonna pick it next if I don't. So yeah, Chattanooga, definitely my favorite craft distillery. I've still never been. I need to get out there, but I just love all their experimental releases that they do. Very fun to taste and try and hunt them down.
All right.
All right. Since Jake tried to screw me, I'm going to screw him. I'm going to go with Peerless.
I didn't
That's
even put it on
fine.
the list.
I don't think you screwed me.
Like I think Jake has enumerated many times on this show, their single barrel program is super awesome.
Hey, good. So part of their overpriced whiskey is okay.
I like everything.
They got a cool bottle though, so at least get that too.
The
It's
single barrels
expensive,
are very,
but-
very good.
I mean, yeah.
Like you might have the
super
coolest
good.
bottle, Jake. That's cool. That's good. That's got to get you some points for something.
And then, nobody's touched Texas yet, so I'll go with Still Austin.
All right.
I didn't have any Texas on my list.
I had two.
I thought about it.
That was the only one I was willing to put on the list. Because I figured Dan would mock any other ones that I put on the list.
I probably wouldn't have mocked Milam and Green. I had some stuff from them I really liked. It's
Yeah, you like them.
not crazy priced.
I wasn't gonna pick Garrison
Yeah.
or Balcones.
My turn.
You used to be all about big on balconies. Whatever happened to TX whiskey, your favorite from back when we first started?
I still like TX.
Yeah, your turn, Jake.
When's the last time you drank TX?
Now it's been a while.
Years. 3 years, probably, I bet.
It's a good like starter bourbon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a cool bottle cap.
Yeah. All right, we are getting down to the nitty gritty. I've got actually only 4 distilleries left on my list, and hoping I can scoop. I think 3 rounds left, right? Or 4.
Where are we at?
Hoping I can scoop most of these.
Jake, his pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
Nice.
so
He's got 9.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
so 2 more.
2 more.
Damn. Okay, this is tough. This is really tough. All right. I am gonna do something that I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for. I'm gonna pick High West.
Oh, I didn't even have it on my list. That was a
For that midwinters.
No, I'm picking High West for the location.
Okay.
Which Dan, you better back me up on that. It is
Why do I gotta back you up on that?
well because you're moving there,
Not to Park City,
but you're moving to Utah.
mountains.
But
Not
yeah,
really.
High West, the actual distillery is at the bottom of one of the most epic ski resorts I've ever been to, and I love to snowboard. So having this distillery would be very cool to go out there and visit and hit the slopes often. So whiskey's all right. Picking this one for the location. I got to branch out a little bit with my lineup here.
All right. So where do I got back-to-back picks? So I got my final 2 picks. Oh, I don't know where I really want to go here. Oh, I did have Peerless on my list. I'm just gonna delete that here. Delete row. What do I have? I don't want. Okay, I'm gonna go Limestone Branch.
It's a good one.
It's all right.
I'm gonna take that because Jenna Ray will come say hi.
Yellowstone.
Do I go with the location one too? They're not on anyone else's list. There's a couple really big ones still out there too.
This is your last pick, right?
I know, this is my last pick. I am going to go with I could do that, just be an idiot. I'm not gonna do that.
Well, now you have to.
I haven't been as big as a fan of them recently, but my last pick in the draft will be Wilderness Trail.
Interesting. What do you like about them?
I like their whiskey the way it used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's
the who bought them, Campari or
Yeah, Campari.
yeah, there's just not anyone else I'm a big fan of down on my list yet, so I'm gonna go with them. I'm more happy with my Limestone Branch pick. So, all right, Jake, your final Gold Eagle Jake's final pick.
Final pick. It's I don't know. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Stitzel Weller.
Okay.
Just to get a little history there.
Yeah.
They've got some decent brands right now, but having that distillery in my possession, I think would be a huge boost.
Big Blade and Bow fan, I see.
It's all right. Orphan Barrel, some of those are good. IW Harper, but more so for the name Stitzel Weller.
Yeah.
I can come out with some new brands and say, hey, it's being distilled at Stitzel Weller, and I'll have everybody's eyes turning.
That's why Blade and Bow sold
Exactly.
well at first, and then it just stopped selling.
Yeah. And people like the keys, like they like the horses.
Oh, yeah. The 5 keys.
Yeah.
5 keys. Jake, your final pick in the draft.
So I have some others on my list. I even have an American single malt distillery.
I was gonna say you haven't picked an American single malt.
I haven't, but I do have one on here that I don't think I can let go. The OG Kings of Rye Whistle Pig.
Okay, that was one of the
Ooh.
big ones. I was wondering if it's going to get picked or not.
Yeah, you had to pick them. They got you into drinking whiskey and drinking rye.
They are the ones that got me hooked. So,
All right,
gotta have them.
Well, so what we'll go through. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jake.
Well, I was just gonna say, if we want to give some honorable mentions, and I'm sure there's people.
I think we do our rundowns and then we go through snubs.
Yeah, there's probably people out there like, oh my god, how did you not
Yeah.
pick this and this and this? And I know we probably missed some things because it's very hard to narrow this down to 30 distilleries from a list of thousands.
Yeah.
So Jake R has Heaven Hill, Jack Daniels, Four Roses, Bardstown, Still Austin, James Pepper, New Riff, Whistle Pig, Old Elk, and Peerless. Gold Eagle Jake has Buffalo Trace, Maker's Mark, Wild Turkey, Middle West, Willet, Chattanooga, Hard Truth, Old Forester, High West, and Stitzel Weller.
I think I won.
Those last two are pretty darn weak.
Those last two picks are not great.
I think I won. Stitzel Weller, the name alone.
Okay. So I have Beam, MGP, Woodford, Barton, Green River, Michter's, Redwood Empire, Bowman, Limestone Branch, and Wilderness Trail.
Wilderness Trail is weak.
Yeah, that was a weak pick.
Yeah.
That was
the
a
one I was going to do.
cop-out.
Like I almost did the same. I almost wanted to be like, well, I'm going to go with the location too, and I'm going to go Wyoming whiskey. It was on my list, but
That'd be an interesting one.
I mean,
I
I feel like they don't
haven't
get
tried
enough
anything from
credit.
yeah,
They've got some decent stuff, and they're just kind of pushed to the side a little bit.
Yeah. So, we'll post the teams up. You guys can take a look at them, see who you think has the best 10.
Who won? Yeah, let us know.
So some of the big snubs that are out there. One of the biggest distilleries didn't get picked in terms of production. Dickel.
Oh well,
Yeah.
we knew nobody was picking that.
No one picked Dickel.
I thought about them when I was putting my list together, but I did pass.
I'm surprised Jake R didn't pick this one. Castle and Key.
I was debating them for my final pick,
Me too.
but I only liked their rye, so it's a hard
It was.
sell.
Yeah, I don't know.
waste to
It
pick
was
on.
between Castle and Key and Stitzel Weller, and I figured, all right, I can just come up with my own whiskey and say it's made at Stitzel Weller and see success.
Yeah.
But I do love the actual distillery of Castle and Key. Just not a huge fan of their whiskeys.
That would have been another one for you picking more on the nostalgia of it all.
Yeah,
Yep.
Castle and Key is a pure history pick, which I mean that's fair, but the one that I thought Jake was going to pick for sure was Virginia Distilling.
No.
I thought you were going to have it on your list for sure.
I thought you were going to pick them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I am a big fan, but I also had Stranahan's on my list too. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm a huge fan of Stranahan's. I don't think they get enough credit. They were one of the first American single malt distilleries, and some of their barrel proof single barrels that they sell at the distillery are ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. I figured just keep it to bourbon. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was debating Westland too.
I was debating them as well.
I like Westland
I really
better.
like theirs.
Yeah, Westland's good.
Gold Eagle Jake, another one I was surprised you didn't take at the end. I almost took Coppercraft.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. Just, I mean, they are distilling, but to me, it's kind of like just another MGP brand because it was all built off of
yeah.
MGP.
Another large producer would be Starlight.
Yeah, I kind of figured nobody would pick them.
Yeah, I just haven't been huge on any of their stuff.
Well, they're really only making finished products, right? Like,
For the most part, yeah. And they do a lot of different finishing, and they're great at finishing. Um, but
but I've heard their unfinished product is kind of subpar.
well, we really haven't seen too much from them older than I think like 7 years is the oldest whiskey they've put out. And they've
Yeah.
ramped up their production a lot. I mean, they've been around for 7 generations, but they're fairly new to distilling, just within the last like 10, 15 years. So they still have a long way to go. They got really hot about 5 or 6 years ago and then just kind of faded down because price points kept going up. Age statements didn't go up. But I got hope for them. I think they can make a strong recovery, and it is a really cool place to visit. It would have been a cool place to put in there just for the whole farm and farmers market and restaurant and everything that they have on site there.
Heaven's Door, another big one, did get
They're
picked.
not open yet.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't put them on my list.
We talked about the Texas ones.
Town Branch would have been a good one.
Town
if
Branch.
if we extended the number of picks, I think they'd be a good one.
Breckenridge.
Yeah, Breckenridge is a good one.
Yeah, I'd take High West and go to those slopes.
I was surprised neither of you guys went with Cedar Ridge.
I had them on my list. They were an honorable mention.
Other big producers, Nelson Greenbrier, which we never ever really talk about, so it doesn't surprise me. I put him on here just because
Never had anything from them, as far as I know.
Then the last ones I had were not ones that anyone would have really picked. Well, possibly Journeyman, Woodinville, and Rabbit Hole.
Rabbit Hole and Journeyman were definitely on my honorable mentions.
But that's kind of what I had. That some things that didn't get picked, but yeah, still get some free agents out there. I'm sure we missed some other ones too, but that was just of all the ones that I put down that I completely didn't get picked. I was wondering if Whistle Pig would make it to the end or not.
Yeah, I had to have them. So
yeah, if you didn't pick a rye, I would have been really disappointed.
Well, if I had gotten Hard Truth, I probably would have passed on Whistle Pig. But
it's a good thought experiment because it makes you think a little bit.
It does make you think. There's a lot of factors in play. And yeah, it's not as easy as just looking at a list and picking off some hot names. Like, you got to go a little bit beyond the bourbon, a little bit beyond the name, but you also got to factor those things in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next year we'll do Scotch distilleries.
That will be fun.
Oh, that's fine. I got a GM for next year. Call Rob up. Rob will be my GM for me.
Yeah. There you go.
Call him.
Have him sub in. It'll be much more fun.
Actually, that would be a lot of fun to have him sub in and do a Scotch draft.
I don't think he's a big fan of cameras and recording things.
Well, we can take him off the camera.
But recording things. He'll slide the picks into me. I'll just open the envelope.
All right, yeah, that'll work.
Do the whole pick is in type of thing. But yeah, I'm excited to start watching the draft. So we're recording this on Wednesday. The draft is tomorrow, Thursday. I'm excited after work to sit down with some good whiskey.
This is going to come out a week after the draft.
Oh, swap. Can we swap?
We can swap.
Yeah, let's swap.
Okay, so this will come out immediately following the draft on Sunday. So
yeah, this will be the day after the draft. I'm still thinking about it. Made me think harder than what I thought it was going to be. Like, at first I'm like, I'll just throw some distilleries down. Then you start to think about it a little bit, and it got a little more difficult. But excited for the NFL draft. Not really. It's not really an exciting draft this year.
Last year was much more exciting with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a bad team, you get to have exciting drafts when you're on a continual contender like your draft.
Mediocre team. You don't really get drafts, and you don't really get to watch postseason.
We do.
Oh, one game.
Oh, we made a lot of NFC Championship games. We've lost a lot of NFC Championship games.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty damn far in the playoffs. Yeah, no, it's fun, but enjoy your favorite whiskey watching the draft. We hope you had a good draft. We hope your team picked who you wanted them to. But yeah, it was different, something to think about a little bit. So nice little thinking episode.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right,
Tell us what your draft picks would be.
You can't say your top 10 distilleries because you gotta remember that people are gonna snipe them. Although I only got one pick sniped from me.
Well, tell us who we forgot. Tell us who you think had the better draft, and yeah.
Jake, where can people buy a lot of these things at? Because a lot of these are available.
A lot of them are available. They can buy them at Gold Eagle in Libertyville. You can go to goldeaglewine.com, see our inventory, shop online. And yeah, follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine, Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits, and throwing it back to you.
Jake, where can people listen to us, watch us, request more wonderful kazoo songs?
They can listen to our kazoo music on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts.
We should Apple Music that easily.
Yeah. Just one song on Apple Music, Dan playing the ESPN theme on the kazoo.
The ESPN Monday Night Football theme.
Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell people about our Instagram and our social media.
You can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Bourbon Matters. Make sure you like, subscribe, rate, share with your friends. Click the notification bell if there is one. All that fun stuff.
All right, boys. Well, let's get ready for the draft tomorrow. And cheers.
Yep. Cheers.